This case looks simple on paper, unpaid wages and a truck dispute. But very quickly, it becomes something else. It's about power, desperation, and what happens when everything is done with handshakes instead of paperwork.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Barua versus McElroy.
Thank you, Juan. Eric Barua?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant, Eric McElroy.
Yes, Your Honor.
For $5,020 you say he owes you for back wages and a down payment on a truck you say you purchased from him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning, sir. Why don't you tell me, and I read both of your papers, and I know you both submitted a fair amount of evidence. I've reviewed all of it.
Right away, you can feel the imbalance. One man is talking about survival, rent, family, just trying to work. The other is talking like someone who's used to controlling the situation.
I spoke with him and he said now he's a manager because before he used to do the same thing that we were doing. So he said he's a manager now for the delivery service. And he said, the boss said he should give me a contract. So he's going to give me a contract.
What month and year was that?
It was October.
October of 2014?
Yes, please.
Is that how you remember this happening?
No. The person that he's speaking of came to me and said that, hey, he wanted to work for the company. He wanted a contract. I told him that he can come and talk to me about a contract, but there was not a contract that was promised to him.
Okay, but he came to talk to you, and what happened?
He came and talked to me and told me that he wanted to do deliveries and that he would work for another contractor, but if he couldn't work for another contractor, he wanted to purchase a truck.
So he comes to you, and he's asking you for a job.
Correct.
At that point.
Correct.
And what does he say to you?
He told me that he took care of his wife and kids in New York and that he had an apartment here and he was about to get evicted from his apartment and would I please hire him, that he really needed a job. So I told him that he could start to, because I had never seen him work before. I know that he did deliveries, but I've never seen him on a truck.
So did he tell you at that point that he was in desperate need of money, that he didn't have any money, so he really needed a job?
Yes.
That's your recollection of the conversation?
Yes.
Okay. And so what do you say to him at that point?
I told him that I'd like to see how he works and what his work ethic was, whether he would show up on time.
And you're in...
This is where things start falling apart legally. No contract, no manifests, no real records. If you're running a business and you can't prove what you paid someone, that's not a misunderstanding. That's a problem.
A stop, and he works for you for how long? What date to what date?
It was from November. He worked for a couple months.
From November what?
I'd say till the end of January, February, something like that.
Okay. Did he submit invoices to you with the number of stops he made?
Well, they keep their own records, but we have records. We go by the manifest. So whatever the manifest says, that's what we pay. You can get docked for stops that the company, I'm just the management. So if the parent company docks you, I don't have anything to do with that. If you don't fill out the paperwork correctly, or if you're late to a delivery, you can say that you had 70 stops, but if the manifest, all of them total 50, that's what they get paid. So they pay me, and then I pay the contractors.
Okay, and who is in charge of keeping this manifest?
The company is.
Okay. And so do you have the manifest for the 2 months you say he worked for your company?
No, I keep my own records, but the manifest stays with the company, not with the management company.
Okay, you don't have a copy of that?
No.
Okay, how did you know how much to pay him?
You go to the filing cabinet where they keep them on file, which is open to the contractors and to myself and to their employees, and then they go and it has the dates on them.
No, I'm asking you though. You paid him a sum of money, right?
I go look in the files, and I pull all the, actually Heather being the office manager, she would go look in the files, pull all the manifests, it'll show who was working that day, what truck it was, and then that's how we keep records of that.
Okay, and so from November to December, you have records of how many stops he made based on this manifest.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of that with you?
Well, I don't have copies of each day because it would be, a whole stack of manifests, but I do have a sheet where I've tallied what stops he made.
This moment matters. The judge isn't reacting to facts. She's reacting to attitude. Courts don't reward arrogance, and they definitely don't tolerate someone trying to run the courtroom.
Because he didn't have money. He came to me and asked me for, he wants to stand over there and act like he's really doing something. He begged me for gas money. He didn't have enough money to even to buy the whole truck. I was nice enough to even let him give me a down payment for the truck.
Wow.
He didn't have insurance. I carried insurance on the truck for like 2 or 3 months because he couldn't even go get insurance. His employee that he was supposed to pay came to me and said, oh, Eric hasn't paid me yet. And I said, well, why hasn't Eric paid you? Eric came to me and asked me if I could change the name on his check because he owed his bank money.
Stop. You're getting way ahead here. You say he worked for you. I'm sorry?
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm sorry.
I need you to understand something. You see what this says up here? You see this?
Yes.
It says Judge Faith Jenkins.
Yes.
When you walk through these doors, I run this. I don't need your permission to speak in my own courtroom.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you again, slow your roll. I do not like your attitude, but I'm going to get to the bottom of the legal issues in this case so you can go back to Georgia.
The truck deal is messy, and that's being generous. $3,000 down. No written agreement. Conflicting prices. And the truck gets taken back before a single real payment cycle even passes.
Tell me about this $3,000 you're suing for the truck.
Your Honor, when he told me he's going to give me a contract, he asked me if I have a truck, and I said no, but I'm about to buy one from somebody that works there. And
you
Your
need
Honor,
a truck to make these deliveries.
Yes, please. And Your Honor, he said, oh, that man's truck is not working. It's not working. But I have a truck that if you buy the truck and you use it, and I say, how much you selling it? And he asked me how much the man is selling his truck. And I said, $5,000. But the man said if I give him $3,000 for down payment, the rest, he will give me a time to pay it until I finish paying it.
What time period?
It was November, but the man said when I put $3,000 down payment, he will let me use the truck when I start working as a contractor.
You have a truck that he's buying from you, correct?
Yes.
You give him $3,000 down payment, is that correct?
Yes.
What's the total agreed price that you'll pay?
$6,000. That he said I'm going to pay.
Is he buying it from you personally or from the company?
Personally, but it wasn't for $6,000.
Okay, what do you say the price was?
It was $9,500.
And do you have anything in writing?
I didn't put anything in writing with him.
Okay, so, but he did give you $3,000. We do know that much.
Yeah, I'm not
Okay.
denying that.
How much are you supposed to pay for the truck? The remainder of the payments?
He said, I keep on asking him how much you're going to break it down. And he said, wait until you start working.
Did you say to him in terms of making payments on the truck?
I told him he would make monthly payments, and I said, can you handle monthly payments of $600? And he said yes.
Okay, and when were those payments
That was from the
supposed to start?
they were supposed to start from the very beginning.
What's the very beginning?
From, we'll just say January.
Okay, so for January 2015, because he just starts working at the end of December.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
He told me after he took the money, he said the truck that I'm giving you is not working. The kingpin is not working. So you have to fix it. And I said, how much for the kingpin? He said, not less than $400. You won't spend less than that. So I went and bought a kingpin and let somebody fix it. The person that was going to fix the truck, when he hear my name, Eric, he said he's not fixing it. And I said, why? He said, because the other Eric that owns the truck, I'm charging him for the kingpin $500 to fix. He said he's not doing it. So I want to know if it's you, Eric, or him, Eric. And I say, it's me. So the guy fixed the truck and charged me $500 that he is aware. And when he sold me the truck, he didn't tell me that the air condition and the heat is not working.
Well, see, that's why you need to get things in writing, because when you sell a truck to someone, it's as is by default.
Judge Faith makes something very clear here. Once you sell a truck, it's no longer yours, even if payments are ongoing. You don't get to keep the money and the truck.
Frankly, it doesn't matter if it was 10 days or if it was the first week of February. If you sell him, if he gives you a down payment of $3,000 and he's giving you that down payment as a part of an agreement that he's going to buy this truck from you and make monthly payments. When you took that truck back, within a few weeks, you breached that agreement. It's his truck. If there are repairs that need to be made on the truck, it's his responsibility to make them. He's buying the truck from you. I don't agree with these truck deals where you put a down payment and you have to keep paying people money for the truck because you're acting like it's still your truck when it wasn't.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
No, you breached the agreement.
This is the dagger. Taking money out of someone's paycheck for a personal side deal. That's what the judge calls double dipping, and courts hate that.
Hold hold on a second. I want to get this straight. You went into his paycheck and deducted from a personal agreement that the two of you had about him purchasing a truck from you? That's exactly what you just said to me.
I'm explaining myself.
I don't need to hear anymore. You're double dipping.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Double dipping. You can call it double dipping, but that's not.
You have a personal agreement with him. This has nothing to do with the company, and you're going into his company check, making deductions about this truck? That's what you just said to me.
Look at the result. The judge didn't just rule on emotion. She ruled on logic. Poor records, verbal agreements, power abuse. This wasn't about a truck or stops. It was about fairness, and the law stepped in where common sense failed.
You say you made how many stops, sir?
125 stops.
Okay, I'm going to order him to pay you the difference. Because of all of the inconsistencies and the lack of record keeping and your convenient excuse, you go between you running the company and you not having access to the records to bring them to court. So I'm going to order you to pay him for the 36 stops that he says he made. Mm-hmm. In addition, I'm going to order you to refund him the $3,000 for the truck since you decided... Since you decided to go into his personal paycheck and take money from his check for a personal deal the two of you had, you're going to pay him for the truck that you took back after only a month. Judgment for the plaintiff, $4,260.